Mike, we made a little drawing of your kitchen, numbering every cabinet and drawer front, and we're just going to put a piece of tape with a Sharpie number on each one of these so that we can get everything back to where it belongs when we're all done.
Super.
All right, and Mike, this one here is 12.
Great.
If you've got any of these bumpers on the doors or drawers, you want to get those off. We're going to take the number off, but we're going to keep it close. Now, everything we need actually comes in a kit that you can pick up at the home center. It's got a couple cans of paint. You get that tinted any color you want. You chose like an off-white?
Yep.
Perfect. It also comes with a deglosser. And this is important because this has got that shiny finish right here, a little coat of polyurethane. We've got to get that off because the new paint's not going to stick to it. So the deglosser goes onto a scouring pad.
So Kevin, there's no sanding.
This is the sanding process essentially, right? So we are actually going to be taking this off and I'm rubbing this on liberally in the direction of the grain. And I'm just going to make sure that I go over the entire surface.
And you're just following the wood grain.
I am, yep. And as soon as you've gotten all the scrubbing done with the deglosser, the next thing you want to do is actually take a wet rag and we are going to wipe this down. Try to get off all of that finish. And you can see, if you've done it right, that you've got some color here on the rag. That's the finish coming off.
That's great.
And then once you've got it all cleaned up with the wet rag, you want to switch to a clean, dry rag. And then you want to give it a nice wipe all the way around. And you'll know you're done when you have got yourself a nice matte finish. All right?
That's great.
So now we have to do the same thing to the actual face of these cabinets. So you want to do the back side of this one, and I'll tackle the frames?
I'll get right at it.
All right, let's do it.
Wow, this finish is really coming off.
That's the look of progress.
Wow, that's great. Sure beats sanding.
We'll be using this stove later when you teach me how to cook. Cover it up. So Mike, if there's any grease on the cabinets, like there might be around a stove area, you actually want to wash it off with soap and water before you degloss. This one looks pretty good right here, though.
Well, I do keep a clean kitchen, Kevin.
Well, I'd hope so. You got a million people watching you cook.
There you go.
All right, Mike, we have finished all of the deglossing. Everything is dried for an hour. We've got some tape up so that we don't get paint where we don't want it. And we are ready for the first coat. And this is actually the bond coat. And it's going to be one of two coats that are already the color that you've picked out. And we're going to put this right on the cabinet. And you've painted before, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. Just remember that you want to go in the direction of the grain, which is this way on the door front, but on the rails it's going to be this way. We're going to complete the panel and then move to the stiles and rails. And this is a paint that's actually specially designed to adhere to this wood. And I'm going to let you take it away, have you do the doors, and then I'll do the frames to the cabinets, right?
Great.
And we're using a 2-inch synthetic brush, which is the right tool for this job.
This color is going to be great.
It's already a big improvement, isn't it?
Absolutely. Big difference from the natural finish.
You got some drips along the edge right here. You want to grab these before they dry up.
Well, I'm done with this one.
All right, great. So we need 2 hours for this first coat to dry. And we'll probably just paint all of the fronts, and then we'll paint all the backs.
Sounds great.
All right, Mike, we've got the first 2 coats on. They're dry. We've got some nice coverage. And now the final coat is what they call a protective top coat. It's essentially a polyurethane. It's going to give it a little bit of a sheen and some nice protection. All right, let's get the next one working. This is going to dry pretty quickly, so make sure that we don't brush over parts that are already drying up, and let's just watch out for the drips. All right, Mike, that protective top coat is on, and we actually gave it 12 hours to dry, but that is a good look. And now we are ready to put all the hardware back. We labeled everything, so we know exactly where it goes, and now we can just get a little assembly line working and get all of the hardware in. A little easier to fine-tune these with a hand screwdriver. Just want to make sure they line up all right. Okay. Now, this is your old pull, but you said you wanted to update this hardware. What'd you choose?
Well, a change in color and size.
All right. Well, that was the time to do it, so let's get this on there. Just, I got that started. I'll finish it off. What do you think?
Great look.
All right, let's finish them up. Okay, Mike, this is the last drawer. All the doors are on. What do you think of this transformation?
You know, it's unbelievable. It's no longer a 1980s kitchen. My Chicago bungalows never looked better.
Yeah, I think it's a good look. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. And it was a pleasure working with you.
Well, thank you very much.